Can you tell me what, like, I'm curious what happened with this person.
Oh, it's like oh
How did
like
you
this
approach?
this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, the no, the client. Um,
Uh-huh.
we got to a place where some pretty deep stuff came up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he did soften to the coaching. He did look forward to it. He did try some tools. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was not perfect. I don't think I would ever have been the coach he would have chosen.
Mm-hmm.
He probably, this is maybe something else, but I think there's a lot of people out there who think that what they need is tough love.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're not going to kick my ass enough. So you're not really a serious coach. And I'm just like, no, I'm a pretty serious coach because I can help you without needing to kick your ass or
Mm-hmm.
scare you into doing the self care that you actually really need.
Yeah. I love that. I am the most serious coach,
I'm the most serious
actually.
coach because I am warm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What other medicine, what other tools do you?
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, what are some of your favorite tools or medicine forms of medicine? I think the deep curiosity, definitely, and like I do not think it can be overstated how healing that can be for some people because like in curiosity, I think what we're signaling to our clients is like, I see you, I hear you. You don't there's no hiding here. You can state like, if there are things you don't want to talk about, that's totally fine. It's safe to do so. And also like this is not a space where you need to shrink yourself. Um I think it's signaling I'm open, I'm listening, I'm present with you, which is sadly very rare, I think, in our world.
Mhm.
Um so I think deep curiosity. Um I think the space, creating space to like separate exploration from like taking action. I don't know that this is like a tool, but it's coming to mind. I think I do this a lot with my clients of like coaching is a unique space where you can imagine anything, you can try on different identities, you
Mhm.
can follow a path and be like, nope, not for me. Let's go there instead. And the stakes are very low. You're not committing to anything. But I do think a lot of people have limited their imaginations because in their mind, like to imagine or consider something is
Mhm.
the same. It's almost like dangerous. Like it's the same as taking action or committing to it. So
Mhm.
I love offering them the tool of having like saying you can have a space that's not committing to anything, but it's like trying things on. And maybe that's like the theater person in me. It's
Mhm.
like rehearsal. It's
Totally.
like so valuable to have space to just kind of hash things out and try things on and see what fits and what doesn't. Um, I love creating like low stakes to do that. I think that can be
Mhm.
really powerful.
Do you ever encourage your clients to role play with you?
Um, I have, so it depends how you define that. I think I don't ever really label it as
Mhm.
such, but I do help them identify like I'll often do this where I help them identify different parts of themselves.
Mhm.
And so like there will be a part of them which is maybe like 13-year-old version of them. There might be a part of them which is like the quote unquote like nurturer, mature part of them. There might be the part of them which some people would call the future self,
Mhm.
but I think it's not always future. It's like people some they can access it now in certain amounts. And so I will have them explicitly call on parts of themselves and like inhabit those
Mhm.
and like answer a question from that perspective
Yeah.
as a way of like healing themselves in a way. Is that very
So good.
abstract?
I love no, not
Okay.
at all. I totally know what I know exactly what you're talking about. It's kind of like an it's like invoking some aspect and letting it come to the forefront. It's
Yes.
so
Hmm.
cool. So
Yes.
neat. And that it's
And
so
that
fun
is
because we do that like,
amazing.
yeah,
The
it's
results of that can be absolutely astounding. Like I've had coaching conversations with people in like group calls where I'm just like, let's invite CEO Erin into the room. What does she have to say about this?
mhm,
And then they'll just like coach themselves
mhm.
instantaneously. And I'm like, I have done absolutely nothing except like say the word CEO and give you the space to talk.
You directed it. Yeah. Like you're
I
making
directed
making the
it,
invitation. Hmm.
the invitation, but it's like you can do very, very little except just like create a powerful prompt for them and then they'll like just run with it.
Isn't that powerful medicine? Like it's the coach getting out of the way when those moments are
Hmm.
happening and not having to
Yeah.
get in there. It's so good.
Yeah.
Um, I did this meditation a couple years ago with my oldest, where we did a younger self meditation, and I had my kid actually guide the younger self part on the audio.
Wow.
But this was like kind of a similar thing. It had happened on a session. And I'm like, I think this could be really fun for people to have some conduit, even if they're not in a one-on-one setting, to like meet with their younger self. We always talk about the future
Mhm.
self. I love a future self. I do a lot of future self stuff in my week, but sometimes like, oh, checking in with your 8-year-old self. What are they feeling? What are they up to? How do they see the situation? That's super cool. I love it.
I love that. I don't know that I've explored past self in like a very such a light and playful way. I think that could be really powerful actually.
It can be so fun, especially if it's come up a few times, but doing past self stuff, a lot of times, as you said, it's not always light. Sometimes
Hmm.
it's like, what did your past self not get that you
Yeah.
really needed? And like, can we go offer that? But sometimes it's like, what did your past self always want to do that you now, as an adult, have the resources to do? I had one
Hmm.
client who was like, you know, my past self would have loved is to be able to go to the bookstore and buy any book I wanted. And I was
Oh.
like, and so after the session, I was like, could you go to the bookstore today and actually just do that? And it was so like it melted my heart. It was so amazing. It was, I think it was really powerful for the client, more importantly. But like these things where I'd say this could be fun for anyone who is coaching someone who just feels like they're out of touch with their joy. If
Mm.
they have a past, if they have a childhood that was full of joy, if they have things they loved as a kid, sometimes like consulting with that child version of you who knew how to play and knew how to frolic can be really like a fun exercise for coaches to do with clients too.
That's so fun. I'm gonna experiment with that a little bit
Let me know.
now.
Let me know how it
I
goes.
will. Yeah.
I'm going to do that meditation this week too. I'll probably
I
cry. I
love
always
that.
cry with like my little kid's voice. I'm like, oh, so
I bet.
cute.
Oh my goodness. So what are some of your favorite? We can talk about favorites. We can also talk about like maybe overrated
Mm.
tools, which I think we kind of have a little bit already.
Ooh. Okay, I'll share one more of my favorites because I can't believe I haven't talked about this yet, but I bring tarot and oracle cards into a lot of my sessions.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
something I didn't do for a number of years because when I kind of stepped in from relationship coaching to business coaching, I'm like, okay, I got to wear blazers now. I got to look super professional. Um, None of this mystical nonsense, even though I'm like, love the mystical nonsense. It's not nonsense. It's actually really powerful. But at
Hmm.
some point, what happened was a lot of my entrepreneur clients were like, I think I told you this. I was like, they were like, and I'm like, okay, that's all right. They're like, I really like meditation retreats. I'm like, got it. So at some point, I just started bringing cards to my desk and for my VIPs when we're feeling stuck, or if we have, if we have happened to wrap things up with a pretty bow and we have time, I'm like, do you want me to pull some cards? Just see if there's anything from your inner wisdom that needs to be brought forward. Um, I don't I don't often read like classical tarot following the suits and the definitions and all of the stuff because I tend to use it more like a scrying device. I don't know if anyone knows what scrying is, but it's basically looking at the image, softening your eyes, and really letting your inner guidance, whether you are intuitive visually or you tend to like hear messages or you just get an inner knowing. It's sort of the card becomes an anchor for intuition. And I love this with business people, especially because they're not always aware of how intuitive they truly are. Like anyone who's been
Mm.
successful in business had to have some instinct that guided them towards making good decisions and growth. And like there is often a really deep intuition that I think most people have, but like business owners often really have, and they don't know it. And then they're not utilizing it because they don't think about it that way.
Right.
So I love bringing in the cards because sometimes someone will say, like, they'll notice just an image in the back. They're like, I don't really know what that is, but it looks like this. And it actually tells me that the right direction here is not to hire this person. I've been feeling a little off about it. And that just looks like somebody doing something shady in the background. And I feel like the answer is a no. And I don't know why, but I think it's just no. I'm like, well, I
Amazing.
couldn't have gotten there with mindset.
It would have taken.
No, we probably would have hired the person because it all looked right on paper. And then they would have figured out, oh, they were doing something shady in the background. And I wish I had known.
Yep. Oh, that's really cool. It's almost like it gives them permission, and maybe partly because um it feels creative. It feels like maybe a little more like play
Hmm?
that like gives them permission to just kind of follow their intuition.
Yeah. And then, of course, I'll always like bring in any insights that I have. If my intuition gives a nudge, I can offer it. But if it's more kind of collaborative scrying, and then I have a whole bunch of super abound spreads that I use for
Hmm.
like, okay, we're really working on a lantern. This is what we need to do. We really need to get wisdom from the future self. This is the spread. So that has been so much fun to do. I think every single one of my VIP clients I've done it with this year. And I had a virtual retreat this week and we did some card. Like it's just so fun.
Yeah, that sounds so much fun. I'm sure
Fun
they
and
love it.
insightful, like fun and
Yeah.
useful. I guess that's the other thing I
Hmm.
should say. It's like not just like hee hee hee, we're having a giddy old time. It's sometimes it's like something very deep comes up.
Yeah.
Couldn't have known any other way, or it sparks something that we're like, oh, we really need to coach on this.
Hmm.
So yeah, just a new
I
accent.
mean, I think even that, just like fun, I think that's
Mhm.
an
I know. I think that's fun
underrated
too. I'm
medicine.
just like, people don't know that we're not like, woo, party, fun. Like, ooh, juicy, horrible thing we got to talk about. Fun.
Yeah, but I do think it's like I think there's so much power in fun, especially when you're talking about like dark stuff or difficult stuff. I think, I mean, obviously doing it in a way that's respectful and not making light or bypassing the client situation, but I think being able to introduce some levity and fun into a coaching experience can be extremely powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. And with cards, I've been working with them for 30-ish years. And
Hmm.
the interesting thing I'm noticing just in the last maybe 6 months of really opening this up with clients is I'm realizing that for a lot of people, there's something about having visual validation around something that they were thinking or something that they were worried about and being able to talk that through.
Hmm.
Just like that's what that card means 100%. I'm just feel it in my bones. Um, and I knew it already. It's not always a huge shocking revelation. It's often like, I really had a feeling about this, and I'm going to do this because I've now seen confirmation I can't ignore. I think it's like just something tangible. There's a picture on the card that relates
Right.
directly to this thing I've been going back and forth about. I can
Hmm.
talk myself out of it in my mind when I'm just thinking of what I'd prefer to do. When it's on a card, like harder to deny yourself the freedom to go there.
Yeah. That's so fun. I love that. Yeah.
Anything else that comes to mind for you?
Um, in terms of forms of medicine, so I think one that we've like alluded to but haven't necessarily explicitly talked about is helping clients connect with their bodies in
Mm,
various ways,
yeah.
which that can be extremely powerful and often, especially if a client is like struggling with trying to like avoid a particular feeling or like really resisting or avoiding, for them to just like come back to connecting to themselves in a very like physical way can be really powerful.
Mm,
Um, I also like doing um I've not super versed in this, but I've learned like some hypnotherapy techniques that are really can be really
cool.
fun, just like kind of walking people through having conversations with themselves at various points, or like
Mhm.
imagining things for themselves, or interrupting certain experiences that they might have had. That can be really fun. I don't know that this is a technique in and of itself, but I'm always playing the nuance game with my clients. I think a lot of clients tend to be very all or nothing in
Mhm.
how they frame things, and I like yes anding with them, to
Mm.
borrow an improvisational
Yes.
phrasing. I like allowing there to be like multiple things at once and
Mm.
finding some nuance in that. And just that can in a session look like explicitly just noting. It seems like we're talking about this in a very like extreme, like there are
Hmm.
extreme opposing views that we're representing here. I wonder like if we can introduce some nuance into this conversation and what that would look like. And that's like for them an invitation to explore what nuance can be found here, and that can be a way of like softening some of their experience just as a thought exercise.
It's like the antidote to what we were talking about earlier about being like very critical and being like, all right, here I come with my coaching stuff to tell you that your thought is bad and pick a new one.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I love it. So good.
Yeah.
Ah,
What about you? Any of them that you love, any that you hate, or like maybe hate, even if
mm,
that's too strong, or
ooh,
any that you think are overrated?
yeah, I think uh-oh.
Oh,
No,
I love that.
I think a lot of the like rote frameworks are overrated.
Mm.
I
Hmm.
think that when people we started with this, like if you come from a coaching methodology, which all of us do, um, that way of thinking was trying to help you learn a tool. And probably you got support materials like worksheets, frameworks, how to's. When I teach our coach training, I give people like, okay, here's how you would do a session with a brand new client. If you just want to articulate your vision, this is how you could run that session. What I think is overrated is when people take that and then just cookie cutter that into their coaching in a way that means you just have your questions you're going to ask on the screen and there's not actual connection or presence
Hmm.
because you're like trying to do it right. You talked about like we can be dogmatic when we're trying to do something right, but um, I think at a certain point that kind of coaching is really limited, and it's a pet peeve of mine because I think in this industry, a lot of people, like in in my little pocket of business coaching, a lot of people come and they're really worried that I'm just going to have a worksheet that they have to fill out every week, or that I'm just going to be asking them the same 5 questions. And they're like, or like the idea that like coaching is just asking curious questions. It's like, that doesn't help me. I need to increase my revenue by the end of Q2, or this business doesn't go on. So I think like being so committed to the format and then not actually expanding so that you have medicine, other forms of medicine that would be useful to your client.
Right.
Even if it's outside of your coaching realm, or even if it's totally counterintuitive to the methodology that you learned, like what you suggested. Like maybe sometimes just listening to somebody detail something they've never told someone before is what they needed that day. Yeah, I think that is being more committed. Anytime we're like more committed to the plan than we are to the client.
That's such a beautiful way of putting it.
It happens too much that people
It happens
like
way too much. Yeah, it's like being more, ironically, we're talking about tools and methodologies and medicines here, but like anytime you're more committed to the medicine than you are to being present with the client. I would much rather have a coach, experience, like see a coach, just like sit and be real with their client than try to like stick to one thing for the entire session and like not really adapt to what the client is bringing to the table.
Yeah.
And I also think like there is nothing wrong with acknowledging one's limitations as a coach. Like I know part of why when I was learning coaching initially, part of why I would stick to the methodology was not that I didn't notice that the client was like needing some other things. I just like didn't have the tools. I didn't know what to do with that. So I think now I might even see that the client is needing something and acknowledge like I think that there might be a need for deeper emotional processing than I am like equipped to do with a client. I think that's totally fine. I would rather see that than have a coach just continuously ask like, is that thought serving you? When they can see that the client is like spinning out with that question.
Yeah, I mean, I have pulled things out of my magical toolkit as well. Like I have done energy blockage removal with people. I've done things that definitely probably cross into the territory of professional witch, rather than coach. But I just think that like that's if I have something that's can help someone and it's not gonna hurt them, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Even if the role playing that they need to role play is how they're gonna yell at the person they need to yell at. I'm like, I can play the other person.
Especially then.
Like,
yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah, that's another fun form of role play. I do that with my clients. I'm like, okay, so let's pretend I'm that person.
Yes.
What would you say to me? I do that a lot with like helping clients market as well. Like if they're struggling with coming up with, I'm just like tell me what you like, what do you want to say about what it is you're offering?
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. It's a good gosh, that like it's so good for everything. And I don't think coaches like know to do that. They're like, well, how do you think that will make them feel? Or how do you think that will feel? Or how do you think that's going to land? Or what do you think about the No, I am the client you most desperately want to work with. How are you going to make it valuable for me? How are you going to share that you understand me? How are you going to make it trustworthy for me? And you let them go. They should hit record when that's happening because that's usually when the good stuff happens.
It's golden. Yeah. I know we're almost out of time, but I just thought of another tool that I love. I love doing the thing rather than talking about the thing when it's possible in a session.
Always.
So like if a client is like, I'm freaking out about sending this email to a client, I could be like, oh, why? How does it make you
Yeah,
feel? Or
right.
I could be like, let's pull up your
You just
email
want to do it?
server,
Yes.
write it out. Like, do you want to do it with me? And then like talk me through what comes up for you if you get blocked. Like, let's do it together. I love that. It can be so, so powerful.
It's so powerful. And the thing is, the alternative is you sit there because I've watched people, they're like, well, what are you worried about when you write the email or how, like all the stuff? The alternative is they still have to do it at the end of the thing, and you've talked around it, and you're not going to be there in that moment to hold them through it.
Mm-hmm.
I do this too. When sometimes what I'll say is, I'm like, so we can talk about it, or we could just do it, and then we can figure out how you did it. Like I know, I'm like, I'm
Yes.
amazing. I'll pretend I'm like, I'm amazing at this. Oh, writing keynotes, 100%. Let's do it. We have 20 minutes. Let's do it in 20 minutes. And they're like, what's gonna happen? And then we do it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. I'm like, okay, so how did we get that done? And they were like, you just told me that you could do it in 20 minutes with me. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know anything about this topic. I didn't understand anything you said. You wrote
Hmm.
it. We just decided. So it's like sometimes giving them the like not always having to process everything and like think through everything. Sometimes, as you said, just getting it done. So good.
Yeah. And it
Coaches,
feels so
you
good
are
for everyone.
welcome. Elena just
Yes.
gave you one of the best things you can do.
Yeah. If something can be done on a call, do it. And I'm like always a little bit surprised. I'm surprised and I'm not at how many clients are like, oh, you mean I like do it right now? Like it feels like it's forbidden to
Mhm.
them. I'm like, what are your other coaches doing with you? Like, come on.
Seriously, this is why I, I I get it because yeah, we're not supposed to write for our clients and blah 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 blah, or we're not supposed to. That is actually just someone's idea. That is just a
Hmm.
thought that someone
Yep.
had. If you have expertise in an area that you can help your client, that is actually your best path to signing the next client, signing that same client. When someone knows that you're actually not just there to like pontificate on their thoughts with them, but
Hmm.
you can help them when they are stuck get to a place of not being stuck through all the use of all of the different medicines in your arsenal, in your tool belt. Medicine bag? What is it? Your medicine bag. I'm
There
like,
we go.
it's not an arsenal, not a tool belt. In your medicine bundle. Like you can
Yes.
work through these various things with your unique skill set. It's just a beautiful thing for clients.
Yeah.
It
And
really
it's
is.
fun as a
Yeah.
coach. It's so much fun. I love being with my clients as they like do something that they never thought they would be able to
Mhm.
do, or at least like not under the conditions that they thought they needed.
Yeah.
Like if they are thinking they need 3 hours to write an email and you sit with them and they just like you prompt them to like say an email to you
Mhm.
essentially, and then it's done in 5 minutes. Like, oh my God, that's so fun.
Yeah. Highly
Yeah.
recommend. Okay. And if
Yes.
someone needs you for that work, how do they contact you?
Yes. Nice
Nice segue,
segue
marketing.
there. Excellent.
We always
Excellent.
forget to do this.
Um, I know I'm so bad at it. So you can find me at coachingwithelena.com. You can book a consult. I love to talk to you. I love helping people solve problems. So yeah, that's how you can reach out to me and coach with me if you want to. How about you?
So much medicine. Well, you can find the show notes where you can link to Elena's
Ooh,
page at besupeраbout.com/podcast and click on the coaching mixer. You'll find our bios and all of the things. And yeah, if you want to talk or do a consult with me, you can do it on that website at besupeраbout.com/consultation. I'll read your cards.
yes. So fun. Awesome. All right. Thanks everyone for listening.
Nice to see you. Thanks everybody.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.